All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's look at two-step equations real quick. With two-step equations, there's three things we're going to have to complete in order to get our final answer. So let's take one step at a time. The first step says that we're going to take and we're going to separate the left side from the right side of the equation by drawing a line down the equal sign. So let's do that. We're going to accomplish the first step. So we're going to just draw a line down our equal sign, step one, and that's completed. Step two says we're going to identify the operations in the problem. So if we're going to identify the operations that we have within that problem, what we're going to do, I'm not going to spell it all the way out. So if I got multiply, I'm going to put M. If I got divide, I'm going to put a D. If I got add, I'm going to put A. If I got subtract, I'm going to put a S. So if I'm looking at this first problem, 5x minus 11 equals negative 16. We already divided it down to equal sign. The first thing I see is a 5x. So by that being 5x, when a number and a variable are side by side, that means multiply. So that's the first thing they gave us. The next thing we got is this negative 11. But when we read it, we said subtract 11. So that negative 11 means subtract. Okay? Now for us to undo or to complete step 3, since we already did step 2, we got to isolate the variable. Means get it by itself. Okay? So in order for us to get the variable by itself, what we have to do is the opposite of what we just found out. So what I say is the opposite of multiply, you should be able to tell me it's going to be divide. So at some point we're going to have to divide. Then if I ask you what is the opposite of subtract, you're going to tell me it's add. So at some point we're going to have to add. So at this, knowing that what we have to do or undo, we need to know now what order to go in. The order we go in is based off whatever number that has the variable. So if, like in our case for this problem, x is with the 5, I can't do the 5x yet. I got to get rid of the one that doesn't have the variable first. So I'm going to take 11, it's a subtract 11, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to add 11 on both sides. Equations have to be balanced. So what I do to one side, I do to the other. Okay, negative 11, positive 11 cancel each other out. Okay, I did nothing with 5x. Bring it down. The next thing I'm looking for is this negative 16 and this a positive 11. So I'm going to do the opposite of those. Okay, the opposite is because the signs are different, means I got to subtract and take the sign of the larger. So that's going to give me 5. It's actually going to give me a negative 5 because the 16 is larger. Now, we took care of the adding and subtracting. Now we have the last thing, which is to undo multiplying or dividing. We just decided that because we had multiplying in the problem, the undo is going to be divide. So that means I'm going to take and divide by the number that's beside my variable. So I'm going to take and divide by 5 on both sides. That's going to give me x on this side because the double 5s become 1 or they go away. And then I got negative 5 divided by positive 5. Because the signs are different, this is dividing. I take the sign of the negative, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. So my answer is going to be negative 1.